Let's evaluate the limit as x approaches 1 of the cube root of x minus 1 divided by x squared minus 1. So as always, we want to plug in 1 for x to see if we get a finite number. Unfortunately, we get 0 over 0, which is an indeterminate form, so we must algebraically manipulate this quotient to eliminate the source of 0 over 0, and then plug in 1 into whatever left and hope that we can find the answer then. The key here is, first, we're going to replace the cube root with equivalent exponential notation. So the limit looks like this: x to the 1/3 minus 1 divided by x squared minus 1. Now this is equal to, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn x cubed minus 1 into x minus 1 by multiplying x cubed minus 1, and this is from basic algebra, by x to the 2/3 plus x to the 1/3 plus 1, and of course dividing it by the very same thing, x to the 2/3 plus x to the 1/3 plus 1. So we didn't change the problem at all, and right over here we have x squared minus 1 that we had before. Now the reason this works is, let's multiply x to the 1/3 minus 1 by x to the 2/3 plus x to the 1/3 plus 1. Let's see what happens. First of all, x to the 1/3 times x to the 2/3 is x to the 3/3, or x to the 1/3 times x to the 1/3 is x to the 2/3. X to the 1/3 times 1 is x to the 1/3. Minus 1 times x to the 2/3 is minus x to the 2/3. Minus 1 times x to the 1/3 is minus x to the 1/3, and minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. As you can see, x to the 2/3 and negative x to the 2/3, x to the 1/3 and negative x to the 1/3 cancel. We end up with x minus 1. So now proceeding further, limit x approaches 1. The numerator now, the product, is x minus 1. The denominator, x squared minus 1, factors into x minus 1 times x plus 1, and then we have the term that we did not use yet, x to the 2/3 plus x to the 1/3 plus 1. So here is the source of 0 over 0, x minus 1 over x minus 1. They cancel. We're left with the limit as x approaches 1. Only 1 is left in the numerator. In the denominator we have x plus 1 times x to the 2/3 plus x to the 1/3 plus 1. Let's plug in 1 for x. We see that the numerator is 1, the denominator 1 plus 1 is 2, and then x 1 to the 2/3, 1 to the 1/3 plus 1 is 3, so the denominator is 2 times 3. The final answer, this limit, is 1 over 6.